Very lastly, we might be on the verge of two things. First of all, finally seeing Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua square up in a ring in September of next year. If Turkey Sheikh's announcement was to, or teaser announcement was to be anything to go by, as Anthony Joshua returns to the ring in February next year on a Riyadh season card. But also the news is that we might be seeing Anthony Joshua take on Jake Paul in not an exhibition, but a fight as well too before the close of the year. How do you feel about that fight if we do indeed get it?
I hope the fight does happen. Anthony Joshua might pick up 50 million, 60 million, however millions it is, for fighting a guy that clearly can't fight. When you've lost in a major world title fight, if you're a boxer, as Anthony Joshua is, your promoter then says to yourself, how do I bring my protege back? How do I get him back into world-class contention? I'm not suggesting that Jake Paul's world-class for any minute. I'm not suggesting that. But what I'm saying is he's a soft touch. He's waiting to get knocked out. So the promoter says to himself, right, he scratches his head and says, you know what? I need to get my fighter a couple of easy ones just to get his confidence back so he can bring him back to the fore, bring him back to everybody's imagination. Everybody sees him knocking somebody out, looking good doing it. So this guy's made for Anthony Joshua. It'll be another Ngannou early night for Joshua, where he gets a little bit of confidence. I don't know where Joshua goes with it after that, because it's only going to be a 2 or 3 round fight at best. And where he goes from it after that, I don't know. But right now, Anthony Joshua needs to get his confidence back. So this is the perfect fight for him. Anybody that criticises him or says he shouldn't do it, if they had a 50 million plus check waved under their nose, and they're going to say, no, I'm not going to do it, they're liars. And they're lying to themselves, they're lying to everybody else. Everybody's got their price. I wish they'd offered me 50 million to fight Jake Paul, because I'll snatch their arm off. Listen, I'll convince you and the whole country and the whole world I could beat Jake Paul. In the first round, bang, I'm going over. Because I want that 50 million. I want to spend it wisely. You see what I mean? So, everyone's got their price. Everybody's got their price. I don't care who it is. Even King Kong has got a price. And it's ridiculous for anybody to even say he shouldn't be fighting Jake Paul. Because Jake, if nothing else, Jake Paul brings eyes to the sport of boxing. He's incredibly popular. He's the kind of guy you'd want to fight. I'm not even so sure why there's not a list of guys queuing up to fight him. But Jake Paul's a little bit foolhardy, because one minute he's fighting a little midget in Tank Davis, who's 5'4", who's only a career best lightweight. Now he's calling out a former world champion who's 18 stone plus, right? Who's a man mountain, who actually can fight. I don't know where the logic is in that. But all I do know is we've got a lot of fantasists in this world, and there's a lot of fantasists in the sport of boxing. And I don't know, I genuinely fear, like most people do, for Jake Paul, because if he fights Anthony Joshua, it's not going to end well.
Right now, it still seems to be a little bit more than just fantasies, as they seem to be closing on a deal. We'll wait and see what happens in this new week coming forward, whether the fight does materialise and the press conference is arranged. But Duke, I appreciate you taking the time out of your Sunday to speak to me once again. I'll let you get on, but once again, thanks for the great conversation.
Yeah, you're more than welcome, man. Have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you again, champ. Thank you.
Much appreciated.